Hi all, it's been a while since I made a video, and I think it's because it's Christmas time or holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and I've been making lots of crafts. So I have a regular job, of course, but if you see lots of things around, I feel like there's some Christmas I'm about to decorate for Christmas. So that's why things are on the floor. And anyway, you will ignore that. So I just want to take you through this process. I'm going to make some wax melts for a wax melt bouquet. And okay, I had to pause that. My dog came in. Anyway, so I'm making wax melt bouquet. So I'm going to make wax melts first. And for some reason, I always say Maxwelts. I don't know why. So I'm going to make a bouquet. And instead, these have pumpkins and leaves, but I'm going to just do the leaf part. I may do a few snowman. We'll see, because I do have some inserts and that will go into the bouquet that are snowmen and gingerbread man and all that. So actually that's a gingerbread man. And I haven't done this in a long time. I guess I've always loved making things look beautiful. I've always experimented a little bit. It hasn't always turned out great, but only as of the last couple of years have I been doing this as a business. So I do love making gift boxes. I'm hoping people call me the gift whisperer, because people call me at the last minute and say, I need this. And I hurry up and curate a gift for them. And I just love it when people are happy, especially when they open the gift. And I try to do little details, maybe little bows wrapped around anything. Could be a candle, just make it extra special. But right now I'm going to make some wax melts. So I don't melt it's like a pillar soy wax. I get this from Candle Science. It's a blended wax. It's a soy wax for this one. Usually I use apricot coconut wax for my regular candles that burn, because I feel like it's a cleaner burn, and I like to make non-toxic products. But this is a little bit harder wax, because the apricot coconut wax will not be hard enough. So this is, I do this sort of a little bit, not as scientific as my candles. I just kind of throw a little bit of this wax, and if you can see, I'm going to show you, it comes in this little, I don't know what you call pellets or whatever. So I'm just gonna pour, actually let me turn this down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna pour this in this vessel. It's not a vessel, it's my pouring pitcher, but I'm gonna melt it in. With my candles, I literally measure this out, but since these are so small, these little wax melts are super small. Sometimes it's hard to get the proper measurement on that. So let me turn this back around to, oops, is that back? This is back around to me. So what I do with this is I'm literally, like I said, this process is completely different than when I do my candles. My candles, I use my wax melt, or the wax melter. But I just do this over the stove top. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to pause it, melt it on my stove top, and then you'll join me back when I'm going to pour it and color it and put fragrance in it. Okay, while that is melting on my stove top, I did measure out what it was, and I just did 82 grams, and I do it in grams. I just think it's a more accurate measurement. So I do 10% in my wax melt. So I'm going to do a nice little Christmassy scent, and let me go measure that and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and I do about 10%, which is a little bit more than I do with my candles. Remember, candles can't hold as much when it's burning, but wax melts can hold a little bit more. And my wax melt bouquets, I want so fragrant that they never have to even melt them. Of course, the fragrance does go away eventually. Over a year's time, it won't smell as strong as it did at the beginning. So people may want to take the stems out of the bouquet flowers, and I'll show you how I do that. So I use these little wooden dowels as stems. I used to use the green ones, until when you kind of poke this through, every now and then it goes through too much to where it is seen, and I don't want it to be seen. And when I used the green ones, this is a little splintered, so I'm going to get another one. That green would sometimes show through a light colored wax. So all I do is just kind of cut these off about right here, and I use a little bolt cutter, or not bolt cutter, but a little cutter. And so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have all my little stems cut. I have my little bit of my fragrance measured, which I'm going to put to the side. And these are my stems. These have, so what I did, and it's kind of hard and I have to do it again, I made these holes too big, which means I only have, because when the wax pours in here, what I did was put the stem through, but the hole's bigger than the stem, and the wax leaked out. So I'm gonna try, and you're gonna come along with me. I'm gonna poke a little bitty hole so that the stem actually fills the hole and the wax does not pour out. And I don't know, I bought these little things on Amazon. So I don't even know who makes them, so I apologize that that's what this is. And one of them actually almost looks like a needle. It has a hole where you could pull yeah, that's not the one I want to use, where you could pull a wick through, but I need a really small one because I don't want to poke a hole that's too big, which I did before, and it messed up my molds. So I'm going to do the best I can. We'll see, because I'm putting the stem right there. So I'm going to poke a tiny, tiny, tiny hole. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's all I want. And now it's maybe too big. So what happened, too small. What happened is I think that I didn't poke, oops, here it is. I didn't poke the hole big enough, and then so the stem, when I poked it through, split it. So let's see what happens here. Sorry, I don't have, let me turn this down for you guys. So I'm kind of trying to poke this through, and I'm hoping it works. Oh my gosh, okay. So I'm just gonna barely poke. Okay, so now when I put the wax melt in, this stem will be in there. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rest of them and I'll come back. Okay, so now I have limited supplies. In the future, I'll do this a little bit different. Unfortunately, like I said, I messed up the other mold. So I have these little stems in here. I don't want the pumpkins anymore because we're past Thanksgiving, but the leaves are just fine. It's still fall. And then I also have my little gingerbread men right there. So I'm limited. So then I'm gonna put, I don't think I'm going to work with orange. I'm going to work with some green for the leaves, and then I'm going to work with, this is a big old mess. This is, I think that's a hive and honey, and this is brambleberry. So this hive and honey red, just as you can imagine, it is just so messy. So I have to put down towels and so forth but I do want some red and probably chocolate. The colors are absolutely beautiful though, and you don't have to use that much. So I'm gonna get set up and I'll come back. Okay, so I'm ready for my wax, and this is for just to protect my hands from all of the dye I'm about to use. Like I said, I'm only making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these right now, but you'll get the idea of how all of that is made. And like I said, I'm kind of willy-nilly on this because I only have a couple of bouquets I'm gonna make. I've already made those. I've already sold lots of Christmas boxes, so I'm just making a few extra little things for a vendor show I'm doing in a few days. But like I said, I love to make people so happy and to think that they have the most beautiful item. So I'm about to take my stuff off of the stove, and when I do, I'm going to place it on this little hot pad, and my pouring pitcher is also going to, I have to duck down because my pouring pitcher is also going to be pretty hot, so I need a hot pad. So I'm going to check on it and be right back. Okay, I've got it. As you can see, the wax is melted, and I'm going to turn this down so that you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna first just add all of the fragrance. So I don't need this hot pad right now. I'm gonna add all the fragrance and stir that for, I don't know, a couple of minutes. So I'll speed this up. Hopefully, actually I'll just pause it and come back when I'm finished. Okay, I finished stirring it. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of this green in here. Stir it a little bit more and probably test the color on this little white towel. I probably put too much. You really don't need a lot. And sorry you can't see my face, but you can see what I'm doing here. And I feel like I don't have enough wax. Sorry for the sound, but look at how green that's going to be. So it's going to be beautiful. And sorry for the loud noise. So I'm going to put that to the side. And for the rest of it, I split this into a different pitcher. So let's see if I can move this over here. And I'm praying that none of it seeps out. Can you see? Yes, y'all can see. Okay. Praying that none of it seeps out. The holes are, I feel like I needed more wax. Yep, it's only going to give me 2 leaves, unfortunately. I have the rest of it I'll put this to the side, is over here. So I'm going to bring the rest of it and pause you. Okay, so now I got my black pitcher because I'm getting ready to put a brownish color. I may do a red brown, actually. I may do a little mixture for the gingerbread man. So this is the chocolate. Like I said, this is just so messy. I'm going to put a couple of drops in here. If I can get that open, it'd be great. And since it's chocolate, there's kind of a reddish color to it. I may not even do anything. I'm going to stir that up. And then what I do is just get a little white, this is just a paper towel. You can get a piece of white paper. So that's a chocolate color. I think I'll just go with that, actually. And then I'm going to pour that into the gingerbread men that are right here. And this is not too hot, so let's see. If I have any left over, yep, which I do, it's going to go into, have a brown leaf, and that is perfect. I have a tiny bit left over, so I'm going to continue. Okay, I'm going to continue to heat this so that it doesn't get solid. I'm going to poke another hole through another mold and then finish up this wax because I don't want to waste a drop of wax. Okay, I'm back. You didn't get a chance to see me pour everything because I had to work really fast because guess what? I wasn't that prepared today, but I did get a video out. So this is, just so you know, I quickly wipe my pouring pitchers out. Yuck. If they dried already, I just put them back on the double broiler or I get a heat gun to it. And then after I wipe out the color, then I pour some alcohol to get rid of the fragrance in it because obviously I use those off and on. So I am going to, like I said, I quickly worked. So let me just point you to what is going to be drying. One of them went a little overboard right there. I don't know what happened, but that's okay. So all of these will be drying. I'm praying that they come cleanly out of these molds, and then I will tell you once they are finished, you will come along with me as I make the bouquet. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to show you what it looks like and some of the fails because remember that I poked some holes through and unfortunately one hole was a little bit too big. So I'm going to point you down here and watch, and you can watch me unmold it. But as you can see, oh look, it leaked out right there a little bit. So that will be a little bit interesting to take, but these are not too hard to demold. And that wax will just come off on the back of that. And I have to pull it through. But this turned out really good, actually. Unfortunately, I've got a lot of wax that's keeping this. I just need to pull that through after that wax comes off. There we go. It's kind of coming off right now. There we go. Okay, we got that. We got a leaf. And it doesn't matter if it's crooked. It's going to be poked into a floral foam. And here is a leaf. Again, these are just kind of easy to demold. These are the easiest ones. Some of the ones I've had before just really take a long time. And that's another leaf. That looks good. We got a little bit of wax going on here. I don't like to waste anything. I might even remelt that. We will see. And it's this nice Christmassy, spicy smell. These come out so wonderful. You should wait longer. I mean, some of these are actually still warm, but it's coming out nice. So I just kind of pull it apart from the edges. You can see that. Yep. And then do that, and then just pull it right on through. But I want to be careful. I don't want any of it to break. Just kind of push that through there. My little gingerbread man. Push that right on through. And then we've got two more. This will make probably one bouquet. But I might make a few more. This is sort of a brownish, reddish tint. Can't really see it well. It looks kind of brown, chocolatey. It looks chocolate. That's what it is. And again, I kind of messed up on this one, but I just take those off. The edges off right there. And then I might make some red. We will see. I'm going to take this off a little bit so we can know that's a Christmas tree. See? Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I will add, and you can see that I've got 7. Oh my gosh, I forgot another one. Yeah, I might make a red so that will pop a little bit better. Push that through. 7 of these. Actually, that's enough for way more because I'm making it in a Christmas mug. So you'll follow along with me. I'm going to do that later on today, but you won't even know that any time has passed because I'm going to pause this. And I am ready for the next step. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up this project. I left you last with, I just had some brown or chocolate and green. What I did add, I added a little, what do you call this, tissue paper to it to give it a little bit, just a little bit more interest on it. So what I'm going to do now, since I have so much chocolate, is I'm going to replace that. I did make some red. So I am going to replace this. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. And okay, so I'm going to replace some of these just to give it a little pop Take that out, replace that with a red one. Yeah, I think it gives it a little bit more interest. So I'll take, like I said, the chocolate out and put the red in. And I do think that adds a little bit of pop. Okay, so there you have it. So it was good to kind of sleep on that a little bit, so to speak. And I do think it turned out so much better. This mug is just adorable, and I know people will want to burn these. Oh, they smell so good. So I have the red leaf, I have chocolate colored, and then the green. And I really do think that's plenty. I'm not sure how much I'm going to charge. Usually they say 2 to 3 times your cost. Of course, it doesn't take into account the time it takes to make these, but I think this turned out super cute. And I do think this little red tissue adds some interest to it. It just kind of completes it. And not only that, it covers the stems. So that's the end of my video. I look for a health video that's coming up. Hey, there's Scout behind me. You see my dog. Look for a health video to come out very soon. It's going to be on supplements. So this is part of the this, that, and the other. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up this project. I left you last with, I just had some brown or chocolate and green. What I did add, I added a little, so the, what do you call this, tissue paper to it to give it a little bit, just a little bit more interest on it. So what I'm going to do now, since I have so much chocolate, is I'm going to replace that. I did make some red. So I am going to replace this. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. And okay, so I'm going to replace some of these just to give it a little pop. Take that out, replace that with a red one. Yeah, I think it gives it a little bit more interest. So I'll take, like I said, the chocolate out and put the red in. And I do think that adds a little bit of pop. Okay, so there you have it. So it was good to kind of sleep on that a little bit, so to speak. And I do think it turned out so much better. This mug is just adorable, and I know people will want to burn these. Oh, they smell so good. So I have the red leaf, I have chocolate colored, and then the green. And I really do think that's plenty. I'm not sure how much I'm going to charge. Usually they say 2 to 3 times your cost. Of course, it doesn't take into account the time it takes to make these, but I think this turned out super cute. And I do think this little red tissue adds some interest to it. It just kind of completes it. And not only that, it covers the stems. So that's the end of my video. I look for a health video that's coming up. Hey, there's Scout behind me. You see my dog. Look for a health video to come out very soon. It's going to be on supplements. So this is part of the this, that, and the other. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.